Wizards. Welcome to episode 24 of the Crypto Wizard podcast. Now, it's been a very interesting week in the market this week in terms of price action, what's really been going on with the market overall, and the overall liquidity in the market has dramatically decreased actually over the past week in particular. Now, looking over at BTC and CoinMarketCap, which we'll get to very shortly as well, just want to start off with a little bit of a market update and just kind of let you know what I'm thinking about the market overall right now. And personally, I'm actually staying very clear of trading, and the reason being is we are seeing a lot of price fluctuations around the $10,100 region down to the $10,000 region on BTC. As we are fluctuating around these regions, what you will notice is price is continuously breaking back and forth between these levels. Now, as price is constantly breaking back and forth between these levels, you will notice that not only is it one of our key levels, it's also a crucial region which we are dictating whether or not we will be buying or selling. Now, as price continues to fluctuate between these regions, it's completely unwise to actually be trading in these circumstances. Now, when it comes to trading between these certain regions and when it comes to actually trying to identify certain trade setups, you will notice that when we are below the crucial key levels that I am giving, what you will notice is when price breaks below, for example, one of our key levels, like the $10,100 region, what will happen is price is more likely than not going to fall to the downside. Whereas a very simplistic approach, if we break above, price is very likely actually going to exceed and outdo expectations. So when it comes to these certain regions where we're just fluctuating between these levels, it's always best to just steer clear completely and actually await the market to present a much clearer sign. I've always abided by the principles that if the market is not presenting a valid or logical setup, it's best to stay out of the market overall and altogether. Now, in saying that, let's actually have a look over at the Btc Dominance, which is now resting at 68.5%. So we have seen a little bit of a decline, so to speak, from the 68.7 region, and I believe at one point we actually did hit 69. I think that was in the prior breakdown. If not, it's been pretty stagnant for the past few days. Now, putting that into perspective, we still have to look at BTC as the most predominant pair in the markets right now, as that for me is giving the clearest sign of what is potentially going to be the next mover and shifter in the market. Looking over at XRP, we did see a little bit more of a higher movement, which actually managed to maintain, whereas BTC in particular couldn't actually sustain the movement and did fall down much larger than expected. Now, when you actually take all of this into consideration and we go over the market today as well, excuse me, we would actually see that BTC is up 0.23%, whereas Ethereum is down 0.63% and XRP is up 0.46%. So overall, we're seeing a fairly stagnant day in the market, and these kind of discrepancies and this kind of insecurity within the markets does lead me to actually steer clear. So in saying that, I actually wanted to cover yet again another educational topic in the market and through life overall, and cover something that I would believe would be quite a lot of value to yourselves, as many of us here are on the same journey together. We are all here going through the same process, whether some of us have exceeded others, whether some of us are drastically behind. We are all on the same journey of life, enlightenment, and actually trying to achieve something remarkable in our lives. So in saying that, I wanted to actually cover a topic that's always been something that's heavily on my mind and something that I've always wanted to discuss. Many people do not realize that one of the most contributing factors and one of the most detrimental factors to their own success isn't just themselves and their own subconscious programming and everything we've been taught growing up. Some of the most detrimental factors in your own trading and your journeys of success and enlightenment is the people you associate yourselves with. And people often become clouded by your friend circle, and they often say the 3 people you hang around with the most, you are more likely to become similar to. Now, when you put this into consideration, and I'm not saying to be pretentious, I'm not saying to judge people, it's nothing like that at all. You have to be equal, no matter if someone's dead broke or they're massively rich. You always treat human beings the same. At the end of the day, we are all equal in life, and every single person has to be treated the same. But it doesn't mean you cannot disassociate yourself and actually disattach from certain individuals who may be detrimental towards your own success. Now, one of the biggest things for me growing up was I was stuck in a friend circle in the beginning who never believed in me. They always laughed at my vision. They could never understand why I wanted to achieve these outrageous, and what was seemingly outrageous to them was actually very minimalistic in my eyes. And I always knew that I wanted to achieve more and more and more. And I would not stop until I could achieve absolutely everything on my bucket list and on my wish list and my vision board. And to this day, once I complete a certain amount of checkpoints, I will move on to the next. But what was very small in my eyes was drastically unrealistic to many people. And these are the kind of people you will very quickly realize as time progresses in life. These are the kinds of people who never actually fulfill their goals. They never achieve their true purpose in life. They never achieve their true vision because they're so caught up in this ideology that if something is too unrealistic or something is too far-fetched from their comfort zone, it's unrealistic and it's impossible to achieve. But what these people do not realize is that if they actually applied a little bit of common sense and knowledge to what they're focusing towards, and if they actually looked beyond their social limitations and their subconscious programmings, because at the end of the day, that is what in the beginning keeps us all trapped. One of the biggest reasons people cannot achieve their goals is due to the fear of breaking out of their comfort zone, the fear of leaving a secure paycheck, the 9 to 5. These people are traumatized of leaving anything that associates with security. Security is such a big factor in the modern day world, and it's what keeps you trapped. I've always said this: a paycheck is something that keeps you one paycheck at a time away from your goals, and there is actually a certain saying on it as well. But overall, a paycheck is designed to keep you away from your dreams and your goals, and it's designed to keep you trapped in that cycle again and again and again. Because when you actually quit your job, and when you actually think about the possibilities of quitting your job, the first thing that comes to your mind is outgoings, bills. You've probably amassed a huge amount of debt. You're probably thinking, how on earth will I sustain? Even if I saved up for a year or half a year to actually sustain myself for this period of time, the main thing that would actually be crossing your mind is, what would happen if I didn't achieve my goals by then? What if I didn't have a sufficient income? What if it didn't work out the way I truly wanted it to? And these are all massive factors that many people can use to actually stray away from their goals. But when you actually consider these kind of people in this mindset, you will very quickly realize if you are not really where you want to be in life yourself right now, have a look at the people around you. Are they fitting in with this mindset? Are they abiding by these same principles of fear, security, and even instability, in a sense that what they believe is security isn't actually security? When it comes to working for these corporations and these companies and the 9 to 5s, we are nothing more than a worthless piece of shit to these companies. At the end of the day, you've probably never met the CEO. The CEO doesn't care for you because at the end of the day, you are working for them. You are putting money in their pockets. You are not a valuable asset to the company. As much as they say so, you will always be a replaceable and just another statistic of the company. Of course, when it comes to smaller companies like family-owned companies or companies with less than 10 to 20 employees, it's more likely to be close-knitted, and I actually prefer smaller companies and family-run companies. When it comes to corporations, although the pay might be higher, you are often trapped in a cycle of just being another statistic and another one of those rats in the rat race. For me, that's always been something that I've drastically feared, but at the same time, you have to realize, when this is something as well I throw in there, everyone says, I don't want to do this job, I don't want to do this job. The problem is you thinking you are too good for a certain job just shows you do not deserve to even have any form of chance of succeeding in your life. Because if you immediately allow your ego to let you believe you are too good for a certain job or a certain friend or a certain role or whatever it may be, you are already on the complete opposite path to success. Now, I'll use myself in this good scenario. I mean, me working now for free for an entire year just to give you guys knowledge and just running off my trading and building this platform with the team, I'm doing hours here on this platform that would be almost 10 times more than what I would regularly do on a 9 to 5 basis, or even in any form of corporate office or desk job. So when you put this all into consideration, it's not, people have this huge limitation of time, and I guess time's probably one of the biggest ones. The reason I made so much money even working in a corporate situation is I used to do double the hours that all my colleagues would do, because they were too fucking lazy to ever work a single weekend, because God forbid they missed out on a weekend of drinking and partying and celebrating for no reason and spending that paycheck they just got the day before, and then they're stuck for the entire month with no money left. That's not a life I want to live, and it's never been a life I wanted to abide by. But the main principle of this, and the reason I've even covered this in the beginning, is because I want you to kind of mold this and use this rough ideology to see if it matches with your current friend circle. Are your friends very lazy? Are they always questioning? Are they always laughing at your goals and your visions? Do they disbelieve? There's a lack of belief. There usually is a few people that lack the belief, they lack the support, and they genuinely laugh at your vision. And you have to look at the people you associate with, because at the end of the day, and this is a very common saying, if you are the smartest one in the room, you are doing it absolutely wrong. I've always decided to associate myself, not even people with money, but people with genuine knowledge in life and different sectors that I want to learn myself. I've always wanted to be a very all-rounded person, and I believe the only way I could have achieved that, if it wasn't through associating with certain like-minded people, it was also through books. And at the end of the day, when you are reading books like philosophical books or lifestyle books or even motivational books or autobiographies, these are coming from people with genuine experience 99% of the time within these sectors. And this is why, when it comes down to your friend circle, although they may even support you, it doesn't mean, and the same goes for family and friends, throughout your journey of success, when it comes to actually achieving whatever it is you want to achieve in life, the first thing you need around you is a community of like-minded people. And this is something I'm trying to do with the Wizard platform. You've obviously seen the teasers of WizMe, the fact I'm doing a whole social aspect, and the fact that even Twitter in particular, where I interact with all of you on a consistent basis, the goal is to create communities of like-minded people, because I've seen single-handedly how having the correct circle and the correct people around you with different knowledge in different sectors, whether that may be taxes, accounting, financial sides, law, all of these different sectors and all of these things that I once would have never known going through the educational system or going through school or going through university or whatever it may have been. You do not normally learn these certain and specific things just from normal academic purposes. You normally find out all of this stuff through people with first-hand experience. And it's always been a goal of mine, and it's something that I realized very quickly when people started laughing at my visions, when people kept laughing at me doing overtime, when people kept saying come out on the weekends. I was losing friends because I wasn't going out on the weekends. And to be honest with you, I only have a few real friends left. And to be honest with you, the only real friends I have now, I have one real friend left from school since year 7, and from that all that's left is family and some new friends that I found along the journey. But overall, from the very beginning of my journey, there is only really one real friend left from that whole journey of starting school in year 7, which I believe was maybe 11, 12 years old. I don't really remember the age you start that, but obviously I'm 24 now. So when you think about that journey and how only one person has stuck by me from being quite a popular kid, joining the secondary school phase, and I was always in the cool communities, I was always with the cool kids, but I never went out. I've always lacked it, and maybe that was due to strict parenting as well. I always stayed away from going out too much because I wasn't really allowed out in the beginning. All my friends would be going out. I had people popping pills at like 15, 16, going to clubs. I wasn't even allowed outside the house or like round the corner. That was just strict Turkish parenting right there. But when I actually put that into perspective now, it's made me realise that it was probably the best thing for me to not actually be associated with that. And I actually think about it now. Imagine just going out at like 14, 15 and just taking pills, doing cocaine. That's crazy. That's absolutely absurd. And you start to realise very quickly that your parents do tell you to steer away from certain people as well in particular. But I also have a counter argument to that to also say that actually realistically, your parents are also, and sometimes can be, a very detrimental factor to your own educational progress as well and your overall journey of enlightenment and life. And the reason being is, although your parents want the best for you, they sometimes do not know what's best for you. And that's a big difference to differentiate between. They want the best for you, but sometimes they do not know what's best for you. And only you, deep down as an individual, can say exactly what is best for yourself. Your parents will always have certain, I guess you could say, life knowledge or certain aspects of education and knowledge and wisdom from what they have seen throughout their years of life. And at the end of the day, whether you're 10, 20, 30, 40, your parents are very usually, and have very usually or very commonly or very frequently exceeded double your lifespan already. So in some aspects, they have double the years wisdom and knowledge and experience than you do. But it doesn't mean they have that knowledge in certain sectors. And I think a very good example for me was not only my friend circle. Again, all the kids I was growing up with, they went to the best unis, they were worried about their exams, they were doing this, that. But me, I was lost in a sense that I didn't want to do it. And I've always been that rebellious character. I've always been that rebellious person that doesn't abide by rules. And that's always been who I am as a person. I've never understood rules. I've never wanted to fit in. I've never wanted to be anything to do with normality. It's always been something I've despised, and it scares me, to be honest with you. I've been genuinely scared of complacency and normality growing up, and that's why I lost a lot of friends along the way as well. But it's not something to be scared of. It's never something to fear. It's never something you should panic about. And if anything, you have to learn, excuse me, especially when going through this journey of trying to achieve everything you're destined for and what you desire, you will lose friends along the way. People will fall out with you. When I wasn't going to the clubs or when I was doing the overtime, my friends stopped talking to me. And I couldn't understand in the beginning why. Like, why is no one happy for me? Why doesn't anyone have the same vision? Why doesn't anyone understand what I'm trying to work for here? Why is it so difficult to understand and process? Why am I being isolated from what should have been my friend circle, and they're now pushing me apart because I'm not going clubbing anymore? And you very quickly realize you will slowly filter out. It's a filtration process throughout your enlightenment journey, and not even just enlightenment spiritually, whether you're going down that route. Some people do not care for spirituality, and that's completely fine. Some people do not care about enlightenment, but some people just want to get wealthy. Well, guess what? If your parents, and in my particular case, I was not born wealthy, I was not born into money, we were just born normal, I was a normal family, we just got by, we got the job done, it was okay. But if you're not born into wealth or with a silver spoon or with financial backing, you almost have to be a bit ignorant and understand that your parents maybe do not know what's best for you when it comes to monetary purposes and when it comes to financial aspects. My dad, again, typical Turkish upbringing, you have to go to university, make us proud, make your grandparents proud, this, that. For me, I said, fuck that, it's not happening. And obviously in the beginning, it caused discrepancies and it caused many of the family. So, people obviously starting to laugh at me when I'm ended up being a barber, I'm sweeping hair, I'm in the mechanics, I'm doing whatever I'm doing, and all my friends, my cousins, all these people are going to university or they've got good paying jobs. And you've got little old Torre over there just doing nothing, lost, just doing this trading stuff. Why is he doing it still? He's losing money. Is he even making money yet? What's going on? Why isn't he doing this, that? And you realize that these people do not understand that you can sometimes try 1,000,000 times before you actually see your success. And everything I'm telling you here, it's all filtering down to the same thing. You need a like-minded circle around you, and you also need to be ignorant at times and stubborn and go for what you think is genuinely best for yourself. So I know this obviously is a bit more of a deeper twist on the usual podcast, but I think this is so necessary because as I'm looking around me now and building the Wizard platform, I have my best friends working with me on the platform. What have literally turned from best friends to business partners. I'm working with like-minded people. You see it on my Instagram. It's just made me realize that the people you associate with can make you thrive. They can help you. They can grow you in all aspects of life. These people that you circulate with that and also associate with as well, that are literally thinking the same, striving for the same thing. They may even be experts in different professions, but you help each other, and that is the best way to grow because it's so hard to do it on your own, and that's unfortunately something I had to do myself, and that's why it comes with so much hardship, so much mental torture, suffering, and to be honest with you, I've probably got permanent damage just from this entire journey alone. Mentally, it's definitely taken its toll here and there, but I've realised that just being strong-willed actually has helped me overcome that, and I've been through so much mental trauma, mental stress, and all of those things that I could go into for days and days and days. There's not time for that in a podcast, but I've realised that having a good circle around you and a close-knitted group can really push you past any form of drastic thing that's happened in your life, whether it's a negative thing, whether it's even a good thing. Sometimes when good things happen in your life, you still need a very good circle around you, because guess what? Those people that are only friends with you because they want to go clubbing with you or go for a quick drink or go for a quick meal, they're not true friends. Some of the best friends I have and some of the closest people I have, I wouldn't even need to talk to them for 3-4 months or even a year, and I promise you, if I saw them after an entire year of not talking, we would still high five, we would still hug each other, and we would probably laugh the first time we see each other again. That is a real friendship, and that is what friendship is based upon. And when you are in a circle of people who are lazy and they're all focused on the same goal and that lack of motivation and that complacency, I'm not saying kick these people off, because at the end of the day, not everyone is destined to make it. Not everyone is designed to achieve this. Not everyone's designed to be a winner. Not everyone's designed to be a millionaire. You have to have poor people. You have to have poverty. You have to have a winner and a loser. It's the same as the financial markets. For every winner, there is a loser. For every rich person, there is a poor person. And that is how society is. But my point here is, these people I'm always friends with, because I treat everyone the same. I do not care if you have no money to your name or if you are a billionaire. I have friends on speed dial who I'm very close with who are billionaires. And believe me, I treat them just the same as I would do my friends who do not have much to their name. And that's the difference. I treat them all the same. I do not use my friends for money. I do not use my friends for contact. I do not use my friends for anything. I use them for who they are as a person. And that is one of the best ways to even build friendships with people. It's just to be genuine. We are stuck in a world right now where people leech for any form of, I don't even know what it is, whatever they can get out of you, whether they know you might be successful in the future, they know you might have money, they know you might have knowledge. People will latch onto you for anything they will use to get you where they want to be. Your own friends can sometimes use you to get to where they want to be. But the difference is, when you're open as a community and you share things and you're willing to help each other, that is how you thrive as a group. But a good example would be, let's say you have a friend who is very wealthy and you only hang around with them, and every time you see them, you ask them for a favor, or you ask them for this, you ask them for that. That for me is just using. You're just using people and you're not really in a true friendship circle. And that is the most important factor. When it comes to getting where you want to be in life, your friend circle has to be like-minded. If you want to achieve what you want to achieve, then your friends that you associate with the most must be destined toward the same path. But at the same time, you still must remain friends with all of these people. I'm not saying cut them off completely, but I am saying you need to distance yourself and understand that the more time you spend with these people, the more time you are wasting on achieving your own dreams and goals. At the end of the day, if you're sitting with a group of people who are there 24/7, just smoking weed, doing nothing, they're going to the parks, they're drinking, they're doing this, that, what is the need? Like, why would you be relaxing if you know deep down you're sitting there with these people? And yes, you may have some fun, you may have some laughs, but the harder you work, the younger you are, the more time you have to relax when you're older. And that's something I still tell myself to this day. There are times where I hit borderline depression from overworking. There are days where I will not sleep due to insomnia and anxiety, and I will just continue pushing every single day. And I often think to myself, why do you do this to yourself? Why do you put yourself through this much physical harm and potential long-term damage? But then I realize it's not going to be forever. A few years of sacrifice, and so, to be fair with you, it's not a few years now. I've been doing this since 14 years old, but a few years of sacrifice can allow you an entire remainder of your life in freedom and relaxation. And I've always lived by the motto, the harder I work now, the more I can relax from my 30s onwards. And I always said to myself, I'll be a millionaire before I was 30 years old. I ended up achieving that before the age of, I believe it was 20 or 21. I don't remember the exact age anymore. All I know is it was achieved, it's happened, and I'm now still working harder than ever before because I want to hit the next goal and drive and drive and drive. But it's only because if it wasn't for the correct friends, I would have probably, I don't know what I would have done. I would have been complacent already. I would have been like, that's it, cool, millionaire, I'm done, I'm out, I'm finished. But no, I'm with the correct people who have driven me to understand that you can leverage your time a little bit more, push a bit harder, and guess what? You can turn all of that money into more, multiply it, create new avenues, just push that extra year or two, and for all you know, your life could be entirely changed by 30 years old. And that's a motto I've always lived by, and a motto I only found through the correct friend circle. So I just wanted to throw that out there and give you a bit more of a deeper subject on a podcast. And again, I might even start covering more of these topics more often. I've got so much life experience. I know I'm only 24 years old, but I have so much life experience to share with you all. And I honestly feel I have so much value to bring when it comes to these aspects. I've been through it all. If whatever you hear in those rap songs about betrayal and teachers and all that stuff, I feel like a rapper sometimes because of the stuff I've actually been through in such a short space of time. And to be honest with you, some of the things I've been through, many grown men wouldn't have even been able to endure what I've actually been through in this short space of time. And always remember, if you're 30 or 40 years old or 50, you are still young, you still have life ahead of you, and no matter what you are doing in your life right now, there is always time to achieve what you want. But sometimes it takes the right people to make you realize that, and the more you associate with the same people who are negative, they're lazy, they're miserable, that energy is going to emit to you, and it's going to transition to you, it's going to emit over to your aura, and you are going to be stuck in that same vibrational frequency of negativity and just feeling trapped and in a dark hole of just failure and disaster, and you do not want that. One of the biggest things I've realized is, like, a good example, many billionaires, they can work up to 50 years old and then turn a billionaire at 51. And sometimes that is what it takes, and that is how life goes, but that is how the universe has planned it for you. So again, it takes the right circle and the right people to actually let you realize that you are capable of anything you want in life, and you have so much potential, and anything you want to achieve can be achieved. And this is why I'm creating this community, because if your friends are not going to tell you, I will tell you myself. And that is what I wanted to leave you on for this note. And that is it, Wizards. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. And again, please leave a comment. Let me know what topics you want further on from here. And let me know if there's anything else you need covering, because I'm more than happy to let these podcasts go a bit off track sometimes and cover much deeper aspects of life as well. Because I truly feel the only way to even become good at trading and to master the journey to success is to slowly build yourself first. If you cannot understand and control yourself and fall in love with being alone. Again, being alone can often provide the greatest of opportunities for yourself. And if you do not understand how to actually manage the foundation and the ground level, you cannot run before you can walk. And I believe doing and understanding and attacking all of these little segments, there are so many different niches of yourself that you can achieve and break down and literally just improve and build up to make yourself stronger for the journey of success. And I'm here to guide you through that. So anything you guys need, let me know. And again, guys, I'll be seeing you in the Telegram and on the social platform shortly. I hope you enjoyed another Wizard podcast.